Welcome to More Action, the podcast for entrepreneurs, business owners, and professionals. I'm your host, Sheley Brien, and together we have candid conversations with industry leaders to uncover valuable wisdom and lessons learned. My hope is you use these lessons to intentionally take more action in business and life. I hope you share and enjoy. Bringing you an episode today that's something, a conversation, just a process that I've been going through with not only myself, but also my son. And it got me thinking about different periods in my life when I was either playing to win or playing not to fail. And when you think about it in your career and or, starting a business, entrepreneurship, all of the above, is that these are two very different mindsets. And it always comes back to how we're going to take action, the more action that we're taking. Do you see why I changed the name of this podcast? Because so much in life is tied to our actions. And a lot of it then stems, back from something else, which is again, is your mindset. So let me kind of share the conversation that I've been having with my son. Don't you love our kids? They're our best, some of our best teachers. But also, I'm going to tie it into different periods of my life when I was, in corporate versus running my own business, kind of the different things. And my hopes is that what you take from today, it will help you just like reflect on how you are taking action right now to reach your goals. And everyone's goals is so specific that this will really, if you take the time, I promise you, this will help you see exactly, are you being safe or not? And that's really what this comes down to. So if you are new to the show, welcome in. If you have been here for a while, this is a great one. So make sure that you share it out. Now, the conversation that I've been having with my son, if you follow me on social, you'll see my son does gymnastics. He's on the men's competitive team. It is, about 20 hours a week of practice on top of an accelerated academic program at school. And so he is very, very busy. And as he is leveling up, it gets scary, right? He's doing additional skills that his body is growing with, right? He has the strength to be able to do it. The coaches are very cognizant about being safe. However, we do need to push through. If you're going to level up, you got to do some scary stuff. And in one of the events that he competes in, the high bar, there are a few things where essentially it's a loss of control because you are letting go of the bar, flying through the air. And not only are you high in the air, but you're moving at a significant speed to where you could get hurt, right? And if you see someone else in the gym get hurt, then it's like you kind of have that little pucker effect. And with his high bar, he's been having this one dismount that he just is reluctant to do. And you know what? My parenting style could be different than yours, but at the end of the day, I want him to be able to trust himself. And that's what it comes down to, is being able to trust himself to go for it. And if he gets hurt or if he fails, right, misses the bar, hits the ground, whatever, it's okay. And up until this point, I can tell you he has been playing to win. When he goes to practice, when he goes to compete, he has been playing to win. And right now on high bar, I can see he is playing to not fail. He is playing to not get hurt. And while I appreciate that, it's a lack of like trust in himself. And that pullback is going to obviously keep him from reaching his goals, but it's also going to start spilling over into other events, other skills, other parts of his life. So it's something that we are seeing and working through right now. And that's what I started looking back at my life, because I was like, how can I help him see not only what he's capable of, but be able to take those smart risks based upon his previous experience in gym and his strength and the thing that he's being able to do. And we've been working with his coach too, because a lot of it is mindset and the coach understands that too. So we've been working through it. But I want to tie this back because, like I shared, there are periods in my life that I could tell you I was playing to win or I was playing not to fail. And it's interesting because I could literally argue both of these as successful. So let me bring you back. If you've been around, I have a quite diverse career path, let's call it. And coming out of school, I was a financial advisor. And so with that, I mean, it was like boiler room, 400 dials a day. I started with a salary, but then month by month, your salary decreases because you need to be able to bring in business to offset your salary. And by the end of 7 months, you have to completely replace your salary. So in that one, I literally had everything to lose. I had everything to lose my entire job. If I didn't meet those goals, I had everything to lose. So I threw everything into what I was doing, the dials, the appointments, the meetings, the networking, everything. And I can tell you that that mindset, it's like I had that worry of like everything to lose, but my actions took that I had everything to win as well. Because I knew if I did these things relentlessly, these activities, like I just shared, I know and I knew that I would reach that goal and I far exceeded it. And then I look at after that, I went into corporate America, into the pharmaceutical industry. And what's funny about a salary, and you may have heard this on other, with other people, you get this kind of like safe. Like I've got nothing to lose. Like I've got a salary. I've got, a paycheck coming in every couple weeks. I've got a car, 401k, health insurance, like all these things. Is that I've got very little risk right now. So it kind of makes you think like, well, I can play to win because I've got nothing to lose. And then after, 16-ish, 18 years, I forget honestly how long it was, two different companies, I went over and thought it would be really fun to own a restaurant. And I had a lot to lose there. And that really shaped my actions, I will tell you, because I not only had lots of money to lose, I had lots of ego to lose. I had a team that I had built and loved there, and I had a lot to lose. And even though I did all the actions based upon my previous experience to be able to win, I still lost it all. We had to shut that business down. There was fraud and misrepresentation from the franchisor. It was a huge loss and it hurt me and it brought me down into this deep, dark place. However, when I was moving through that and coming out, is that I felt like everything that I was going to do was going to not work. And so I was playing not to fail. I was playing safe. I was playing scared. Every business, every investment, every conversation, I was so worried about losing everything that I couldn't show up not only as myself, but I couldn't show up as the person that I wanted to become. And that's where I think this little space is that are you playing to win, right? Are you throwing everything out there? Are you doing everything that you can with the thought that you are going to win? Or like me, after that restaurant, and losing that restaurant, losing 7 figures, was I playing not to fail? And at first, I for sure was. I was scared that any decision that I made would be the wrong one. And so I was so scared. It inhibited decisions for me to take action. I second guessed everything that I did because I was playing not to fail. I was so scared about failing that big again. I've failed numerous times in my life, but that was the biggest one so far. And it really was this like jarring, weird experience because I always had this like forward thinking, playing to win mindset. And then I got smacked essentially. And I was like, holy cow, I can't do this. What am I doing? And I can tell you, just with time and experience and a lot of freaking reflection, is that I went back and I was like, okay, where have I succeeded in the past? And it was that playing to win mindset. Yet I have a lot more experience now than when I started as a financial advisor over 22 years ago. And what I have kind of concluded based upon where I am right now, right? In another 5 years, this can totally change. But that's what's so fun about playing this game of life and business, is that you got to play to win. You have to make sure your actions are playing to win, that you're not playing it safe. However, you now get to use the experience that you have gained over your life, good or bad, I just shared mine, to not lose. So you are playing this game in a very different way. And when I relate this back to my son and the conversations that I'm having with him, is that he needs to play to win because he hasn't had that loss yet. He hasn't been hurt. The fear of getting hurt is the scariest thing for him, which is inhibiting his ability to push through on this skill in gymnastics. But we can't let our fears stop us from taking action. And that's really the correlation that I am having with him and that I am having even right now. We're going into uncharted waters with our construction company right now as far as growth and potential growth and partners. It is uncharted waters. I'm scared. I'm fearful. However, I have a world of over 2 decades experience that I can use as we play to win. And so that is the conversation, again, that I am not only having with myself, but I am also having with my son, is that take the action, even though you are fearful. Failing is not the end. It is simply an opportunity for you to gain experience, to continue to play to win in all of the things that you are doing. So like I said, this episode, this is like what's going on in our life right now. These are the conversations that we have as a family, because I understand this is something I wish someone had with me when I was his age and even into my 20s and 30s, just understanding your mindset and how your perception about what is going on in your life can either have you playing to win or playing not to fail. If you found value in this one, if this one kind of struck home, I just got to say, this might be like a re-listen at different periods in life, because different experiences, you're going to have different feelings. And that's one question that I keep asking myself and those in our family is, which one are you doing? Are you playing to win or are you playing not to fail? And a lot of this will tie back to last week's episode where I talk about, who are you hanging out with most? Is it serotonin? Is it dopamine? Is it cortisol? A lot of this all ties together. So I hope you are seeing the correlation of all of these episodes coming together, because it is all about you taking more action towards your goals. And it's not just wild action, it's calculated action. It's action that might fail, but you're going to gain the experience to be able to take more action in the future. So thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget, if you haven't already, drop over to the podcast, whichever one you're listening on, Spotify and or Apple. Make sure you leave that quick 5-star review. It absolutely helps other people get view of this, be able to see this podcast, as well as you seriously make my day when you do that. Thanks so much, and we'll see you soon.